Hello everyone and welcome back. Welcome to another crafty decor adventure. Olivia with Olivia's Romantic Home. And in today's video, I am over the moon excited to share with you guys 15 DIY Dollar Tree Spring and Easter decor crafts, plus a brand new giveaway. You guys, I am going to be giving away a Cricut Joy for one of you, plus a $100 gift card to kind of buy some Cricut supplies. So if you guys love to craft and decorate on a budget, I would love to have you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you punch that bell and click all, it will update you every single time I post a new video. I post several DIY videos a week on YouTube, as well as several a day over on my Olivia's Romantic Home Facebook page. You guys pop over there. Don't forget to follow me over there. And hey, I am just so excited and blessed to have you guys here. It is a beautiful day today. I got to take my dog on an hour-long walk. It is sunshiny. It is just gorgeous. I hope you guys are getting some sunshine and some gorgeous weather. And if not, I hope you're staying cozy and warm. But without further ado, let's go ahead and plug in those glue guns. Get out your glitter and paint, and let's get crafty.
Doing some spring dreaming, and I love pastels, so spring is definitely my jam. I cannot wait to share these adorable, fun, easy Dollar Tree DIYs. So let's get our craft on. For the first Dollar Tree DIY, I'm taking this old chicken container. It was just a great value can of chicken, and I'm taking the label off. I had washed it out with some soap really well and disinfected it, and I'm going to create a bird's nest. So using some of that Dollar Tree raffia, first you're going to apply a layer of hot glue, and then just begin to press the raffia onto the hot glue. I also had some paper shred from Dollar Tree mixed in, and then it was super cold outside, but I ran outside with some scissors and just cut off some dead twigs from my lemon balm herb garden, and I'm adding that into the mix. So you guys can get really creative with a bird's nest. We have birds that nest outside of our home, and they always bring in tons of bits and bobs to their nest. So a bird's nest doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just continuing to add some layers of hot glue and then layers of raffia, and I had that paper mixed into it. I even had a little bit of moss from the Dollar Tree kind of mixed into that as well. So you can see I'm just hot gluing it on, and then if a piece comes loose, I can just hot glue it back down. Also, if you guys had some twine, you could use a little bit of twine to kind of tie that in. So for the center part of the bird's nest, I am just folding in half some of those lemon balm branches and just kind of pushing them in. Again, you guys, any dead twigs will work, so get creative. And I'm also just using a couple of little twigs that I had broken off from one of my rose bushes. I cut them to fit kind of along the edge of the bird's nest, and so I'm just adding in some more twigs. And I made 2 of these. They came out super adorable, and they were basically free. Definitely love the recycling aspect of this. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to recycle a Dollar Tree picture frame that I had used during Valentine's Day. So I just took the backing out of the picture frame, and I'm taking this doily. It's just a scrap doily that I had that I wasn't using, and I'm going to hot glue it down to the backing of that picture frame. So I'm just going in and around the entire edge of this, and then I'm going to hot glue it down. I'm also lining it up, so I just have one edge to trim off when I'm done. So just hot glue in and around, and I'm not going to be using the glass, so I wasn't worried about the thickness of the doily, but I did trim around it really well. And so once you have that done, I had Mr. Romantic print out just a little thing on the computer that said spring, and so I'm just adding in this spring sign. I had also kind of distressed it in and around the edges to kind of give it that aged appearance, and I used, I believe it was a French font, so if that helps you guys. And then I'm adding a big dollop of hot glue and just some of those scraps that I had left over from making my bird's nest, I'm adding to the bottom of this. I kind of want to create a little nest at the base of this, and so I'm just kind of pushing some twigs on to kind of give it a little spot. I want to add some eggs. So again, you guys get creative. Whatever you have in your yard will work just perfectly. And then I had one of those Dollar Tree moss stones. The moss stone was a little large for the picture frame, so I just pulled the moss off of the little spot. Some of the Dollar Tree loose moss would work as well. And so I hot glued a little bit of that to the base and then a little bit of that to the top. And then I had one of those Dollar Tree mirrored frames that I painted. I just put it back into the frame, and then I have these cute little Dollar Tree eggs that I painted that I'm going to share with you guys in just a minute, and I'm hot gluing them onto the base to kind of bring in that cute little aspect of spring. I am absolutely in love with this. It brings in all of my favorite things: pastels, the happy vibes of spring, and then the scrolly frame and this darling little nest. So I did create this little cute Easter vignette in my entryway, and this little spring sign, something about it just gave me some hope to chase away some of those winter blues that I needed and get ready to garden and dream of spring flowers. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, we are going to take some of our craft paint. This is just the apple barrel craft paint from Walmart. I get it in all of the really pretty pastel colors. So we have a pastel blue, green, pink, and purple. And my daughter was home from school because of the weather, and so I invited her to help me do this DIY. She loves painting and crafting as well. So we just stuck our little Dollar Tree eggs on the end. I used a fork and she used a popsicle stick. That way we didn't quite get it as much on our hands. And then we just went to town painting our eggs. So I painted a layer of pastel, and then I went over it with just a little bit of white with a tiny tinge of gray to kind of give it a little bit more of an aged appearance. But this was a super fun and easy project to do. We had a lot of laughs because we really did get pretty messy with our painting. And here it is with our cute little bird's nest that we made. How adorable is this? And so cute. And again, you guys could customize this to match whatever decor you are using in your pastel spring and Easter home. And they fit perfectly with these little lovebirds. And I'll show you guys how I repainted my lovebirds coming up soon here. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to be doing some altered books. So in my decluttering process, I was getting rid of some books, and they were books. One of them that I had found at the Dollar Tree, a couple of them that I had picked up from the thrift store. So I'm just painting them with some white craft paint. I did 2 coats. I did front and back. It is a bit of a drying process. I actually started this a day early, so they had plenty of time to dry. And then I painted the spine of the book as well. And you guys can go in again and customize this to whatever color you love. You can add in some browns or some black paint too to kind of just stress it, to give it that aged appearance. I knew that I wanted to keep it very crisp and white for this DIY, so I just used white. And then I wanted to share this kind of cool little project you can do with a book. So you peel back about 20 to 30 pages, and then you can draw a square. What I'm making, I've never done this before, I wanted to create a little hidey hole inside of a book. So I'm just using this tea, it's a square tea container, and I'm tracing around it. And then I took my craft knife and I just began to cut that square because I wanted to create like this little hidey hole in my book. I knew I wanted to put it on my front buffet, and so I thought, you know, if I wanted to keep something in there and tell the kids, hey, here's where I put some money or a key or a little love note, I'll have this little secret book. So my daughter and me and my husband know about it. My son is actually away wrestling this weekend, and so I'm just cutting this out. So you guys just cut in and around. You're going to cut probably my craft knife was not very sharp, so it only cut about 4 to 5 pages at a time. And I will tell you that it was a little shabby chic in a way, the way that I went about it. You know, you can see here the pages aren't perfect. I did go back in with some scissors and kind of cut this. I don't do a lot of paper crafts, so please give me grace on this, but I did manage to get all the way through the book. And so also remember, when you first start, to peel back about 20 to 30 pages. That way the book looks like it's you can't tell. I guess Mr. Romantic had suggested that to me. So anyway, now I'm taking a piece of satin ribbon and I'm just hot gluing down the inside cover of the book. Now I've got the cover of the book flipped back, and then I'm hot gluing this ribbon on. And then what I wanted to do was create a little tab, and that way you could just raise up this part on the inside of the book and be able to access that little hidey hole. Again, this is just something fun that I saw on Pinterest. I knew it didn't have to be perfect. I may do more of these as I explore some of these paper crafts. Comment and let me know if you guys are a paper crafter. Have you ever done this project before? So, and then I did hot glue the cover to this little flap as well, and that way the whole book right here will pull up. And I thought that was really neat. I also thought you could make like a jewelry box out of it if you put some feet on it. And you could also be more exact with your cutting, which definitely I was not. And so for these books, I had Mr. Romantic cut out some French lettering. I cut out I chose "Life is Beautiful" and some other French phrases. I thought it would be neat to do to make it look like a romantic French book. I used a French script on the computer. It's just regular white paper that we printed out. And so I'm taking some Elmer's glue and I'm just gluing this little script to the side of the book. That way it looks kind of like a cute little French book. And so I thought that was kind of a neat, fun little different thing to do. My son actually speaks French. He learned how to speak French in his high school classes. And then I also, on the top of the book, I did go over the top of the book with a layer of glue just to kind of seal in that paint just a bit. So my idea for these adorable, very simple, very peaceful little French remade books was to use what I had. I've been decluttering. You guys can go back and see some of my decluttering videos. I used books that I already had, painted them white with paint I already had, and just printed out those adorable French phrases. And I wanted to use them to bring height and dimension to my vignettes and arrangements. So I did not want to have any waste with this project, and so I'm just folding those extra book pages into kind of an accordion. So you just fold your paper back and forth, and then I'm cutting it to make paper shred. I wanted to create some paper shred with the book lettering. That way I could use it in some of my spring and Easter vignettes. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to take some E6000 glue, and in my decluttering process, I found these cute little Dollar Tree candle holders. So I'm going around the top of the candle holder with some E6000 glue, and then I'm adding in some dabs of hot glue as well. That way my project will be able to stand up quicker. And then I'm adding this little plate. Mr. Romantic brought home some extra plates for me to use. And so what I want to create here is some really adorable spring pedestals. Again, I love to add dimension and height to my arrangements, and so I thought these would be perfect. Now, here's how we're going to use the paper shred. I'm setting the little pedestal inside one of those Target Dollar Spot white little containers. They're $1 at Target Dollar Spot. They have them every season, and then I'm adding the paper shred around the base. I kind of wanted to give it a springtime vibe, like this pedestal was blooming out of this white base, and then I'm adding this darling nest to the top. So perfect. I actually created 2 of these little nests and 2 of the pedestals, so these will be a super fun way to add height to any of my cabinet displays. I can move them around and use them over and over again. And there are those lovebirds again. They came out super adorable, and this was perfect just to kind of snug in, because they're a smaller size, into this springtime vignette.
Can't believe I live in your thoughts. I think about you all the time, morning, evening, and midnight. Such a wonderful delight. Forgo, give up everything that I own. Yeah, I'd give it all up now, just to be with you somehow. Unexpected love was found.
For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to transform my Dollar Tree Christmas bird into a springtime romantic little lovebird. So I'm trimming off some of the bling that was coming out of his tail, and then I am painting the top of his head with some of that aqua colored craft paint. I'm going to paint the top of his head and then his little wings and then that little spot on his back. And I did 2 of these birds because you guys know how I love to group my birds together and kind of make them into little lovebirds, nesting, ready for spring, doing some spring dreaming, and taking care of their baby eggs. Okay, completely corny, you guys, but hey, I love everything about spring. It is such a happy time, and here they both are, and then they're going to nest together, all snugged up. So one was able to fit on one side, and then I just put the other one into this cute little nest. For this nest, I did rest this nest on a plate because I wanted to sit a little bit lower than the one that's back behind over by the picture frame, and this came out so perfect. I am super crushing on this aqua shabby chic French farmhouse kind of blue. Oh my goodness, I love this color for spring. It's so happy pastel. I think it can also translate into Easter decor. But this spring, the pop of blue is just so happy and fresh and so much hope. And again, you guys, I am loving this spring sign. If you have a chance to make a spring sign or pick one up at a store, it definitely gave me lots of hope for spring. And then here's the entire picture. That mirror is also a vintage mirror. I promise you guys it's not dirty. And here it is. This is so fresh and lovely. I hope you guys are loving it. Comment and let me know. Are you doing some spring crafting this weekend? I have been eating chocolates like crazy. Oh my goodness, and crafting. So anyway, I love you guys.
$69, and I just knew we could duplicate it using Dollar Tree supplies. So for the first Dollar Tree DIY, I'm just taking this plastic garden planter. It is in kind of a beigeish taupe color, and I found this one at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to go ahead and take some of the Waverly white chalk paint. I get my chalk paint at Walmart. I love the Waverly brand. It works so super well. And so I'm just going to go ahead and chalk paint my little planter. I am going to only use one coat because I do want a little bit of the basket weave and brown to show through. Once I have my planter all chalk painted, I'm going in with some of the Waverly Antique Wax, and I got a generous dollop, and I'm just going to rub that all over my little planter. And I will tell you that it's fairly forgiving, the wax is, so if you get too much on, you can just go ahead and wipe some of it off. Now for me, I am going for a French farmhouse chic look with this planter. The Pottery Barn website did show a clay pot, which would be nice as well. I know they do sell clay pots at Walmart, but again, I wanted to use budget-friendly items from the Dollar Tree, and so I just went ahead and went with this. And plus, I've already done one in a similar fashion. I want this to kind of match the other one that I did. And then I'm taking some floral foam. I put the floral foam in the center, and lesson learned, it did not hot glue like I wanted to the size of the pot. And so I'm taking some of these paper. This was just some paper left over from some shopping, and I'm just going in and around my little planter, and that secures secured my floral foam in there absolutely perfectly. Now I did buy a bundle of fern branches from Walmart. I believe they're between $3 and $5, and I do have a couple of the actual branches clipped off, so I put one bundle in the center, and then the branches that I clipped off from this bundle, I'm just going to go in and around the larger bundle. So it's only going to take one bundle. Now if you wanted a super huge one, you could buy 2 bundles, but I felt like one was sufficient enough for the size of my planter. And also clipping some of the fern pieces off did give me a little bit more ability to kind of fan them out a bit. Now if you have cats that might get into your little faux fern, you may want to leave them all in one bundle, and I hope that makes sense for you guys. Now that I have it all finished up, I wanted to go in with a bit of burlap fabric in and around where the paper is. I wanted to hide that. You could also use some Excelsior grass or moss or whatever you have on hand to kind of make your plant look a little bit more realistic, which I'm not super worried about this. It was definitely on a budget, which I'm absolutely loving. So play with your bits of burlap until you get in there just perfectly. And then I did give my fern some fluffing, and here is how it looks in my little French farmhouse chic garden setup. I think it is looking perfect, and I think it is a nice pop of greenery. I think it will pop perfectly into a tablescape, or I'm probably going to use it next to my fireplace, my faux fireplace in my home. I am so ready for spring. Comment and let me know if you guys are there with me. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take this Every Bunny Welcome sign and a dab of this beautiful Bordeaux. It's Arteza craft paint, but honestly, you guys could use any craft paint. They sent it to me free in the mail, so I thought, why not go ahead and use this? You can find craft paint at Walmart for about 48 cents. You can also sometimes find craft paint at your local Dollar Tree, depending upon where you're shopping. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint the bunny part of this sign in this pretty brown, and then I'm also going to paint the scrolly lettering, but I feel like the rest of the sign is absolutely perfect. I think a lot of the Dollar Tree signs are adorable. I do love pink and I do love sparkly things, but for this French farmhouse chic look that I'm going for, I wanted to calm down a little bit of the hot pink on this sign. So here is how my Every Bunny Welcome sign is mixing in with my little garden display here. I really feel like to bring spring into your home, it is so fun to add some touches of greenery and some pops of whatever spring color that you absolutely adore. But I feel like also I love this little Every Bunny Welcome sign. It just brings a cheerful smile to my face. It adds in that hint of Easter and just welcoming my guests to my home. I think I'm going to pop it outside of my front door. Will be the perfect spot. So I will definitely show you guys where I plan to put that. It is raining and cold today, so not today. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take this 2X Ultra Coverage with Primer spray paint. It's in a gold color, and I'm basically using this because this is what I have on hand. If you guys know me by now, I really try to use what I already have, but I gave it one coat of spray paint, and then I'm going to go in with just a dusting of chalk paint. So you guys could see that I kind of dabbed my paintbrush off. So this is what I kind of call dry brushing, where you get a little bit of paint on your brush and then you dab it off. That way you can kind of give this dry brush effect. I'm going to add layer and layer and layer of paint colors and wax. I really want this to make it look like it is an old garden planter that has been sitting outside and that's even got some, moss and just some weathered age look. So I added first a coat of white paint, and then I'm going in with the Waverly wax, and I'm just kind of moving that in and around the little garden planter. And then I decided that I needed a little bit more of an aged look as well, so I added in some more of the wax. And a good way to age something is to add the wax in and around the parts that are the edges, so where you would be picking something up or where you'd expect to have that normal wear and tear. Now I'm going in with some green craft paint. One of my subscribers had suggested that I used a little bit of green on my pots and some different goodies like that. So I added in some green, and then I'm going to temper that with some more of the aged wax and some more of the white paint. And then I did go back in with my rag and I smoothed some of that out so you could still see the gold underneath. And I think it fits oh so perfectly in with my French farmhouse chic decor. And who would know that this was a little watering can from the Dollar Tree. So fun and fabulous. And of course you all can always paint this a solid color. You could add a graphic to the outside, which I actually thought about doing. I didn't have time today to do that, but definitely next time I sure might. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take and I just spray painted one of the little Dollar Tree garden tins white, and then I'm using this lavender from Walmart. Now this tall lavender is $3 per bundle, but I think it's totally worth it because it's really going to give this arrangement some dimension. And then I'm going in with a Dollar Tree fern. I'm going to pop that into the back. So I always try to use the taller parts of my display and florals kind of to the center and the back, and then the ferns I'm using kind of to the side. And then I'm going in with some Dollar Tree little green hydrangeas, and I'm just going to pop those in for some pops of color. Again, I want this to have an English garden springtime French farmhouse look, so I want it to be a little bit wild, kind of that wild garden look. And then I found these little purple hydrangeas at a garage sale. I believe originally they came from Hobby Lobby. They're absolutely beautiful, and I really love using purple during springtime. If you all noticed in the beginning of my video, I had some purple flowers. Those are actually in my backyard, and I'm going to give you guys another close-up of those towards the end of this video. But I have this beautiful purple ground cover in my backyard that just makes it look so beautiful in the springtime. So I'm continuing to add in some more beautiful florals as I work. And again, I didn't buy any of these florals. I just had pretty much all of these on hand. So use what you have. And this floral is going to go into my bike. I have a bike in my front yard that I love to do a beautiful garden display. So I will share with you guys how my bike is looking again once it stops raining and warms up just a bit.
Hold you in my arms, won't let go. The world around could pass us by, a thunderstorm, a lightning strike, as we hold each other tight. You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say that I love you. Ooh, ooh, you, ooh, ooh, you, ooh,
And here is how my beautiful French garden farmhouse little planter tin is looking. I did get the French one for this video. They also sell the garden planter at Dollar Tree in the English version, but I thought since this is a French farmhouse chic video, it would be perfect. And I just love how full and gardeny it feels. I also added in a little bit of the white Dollar Tree florals as well, and then I just added these pretty little Dollar Tree candles. And also I want to let you guys know that the Target Dollar Spot has this little two-tiered tray that you guys see, the one with the bunnies on it. They have that at Target for $5, which I thought was a steal of a deal. I'm probably going to end up using this inside in a centerpiece or a tablescape, or maybe even by my little coffee maker, but I just had to share that with you guys as well. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take this little bunny banner and I'm going to take it apart and pop the little bunny tails off. Now don't panic, they will be going back on the little bunny bottoms. I did go ahead and chalk paint this bunny. I thought I was going to do something something different with it, but I decided to cover it with this striped fabric. This to me really screams French farmhouse. You can get this ticking fabric at Walmart fairly inexpensively, and I'm just going to cut the bit of fabric to fit the size of the bunny, and then I'm just going to hot glue in and around the edge of the bunny. And so that's going to give me this really cute little kind of French farmhouse chic bunny. Now just hot glue small sections. I did have to end up going back in because I hot glued too big of a section. Comment and let me know if that ever happens to you and you end up having to redo your work because you're not working quite fast enough. It seems like with the fabric it does dry very quickly, so you just have to be careful. Also press your fabric down really well, that way it'll stick nice and good. But I could have skipped painting the bunny had I known I was going to use this color of fabric. Originally I thought I was going to use a lighter fabric that the bunny color was going to show through. So once you get your little bunny fabric all glued on, you can take your scissors and just carefully trim in and around the edge of your bunny. It would even be super cute to edge it with a bit of lace. So I popped the little bunny butt tail back on, and there she is, all fabulous French farmhouse chic, and I popped her in to the top part of my little two-tiered tray over there. I love this. It's just so cute and fabulous, and the greenery and the flowers and the little bunnies just make my heart sparkle and shine and make me feel so ready for spring. In fact, I don't know where you all live, but where I live we have little baby bunnies that pop in and out of our yard. So, and my daughter just has a thing for bunnies. She has a little old-fashioned bunny that she's had for years that she calls Pretty Bunny. So fun. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm taking a chicken can. This was actually from the recipe that I shared with you all in the last video. We made chicken salad, so definitely go check that video out. It also had a bunch of DIYs in it, but I'm trying to share with you guys some recipes here and there. But I'm just going to take my little chicken tin that I cleaned out really well, and I'm going to add some burlap fabric in and around the chicken tin. You can find burlap fabric at burlapfabric.com or Walmart or even your Dollar Tree. And you could also even use some brown fabric or just whatever little bits and bobs you have on hand. Now I'm going to add some hot glue to the inside of my little chicken can, and what I want to make here is a DIY little bird's nest. And then I went outside and I found this just dried stuff that I really am probably going to need to weed outside, and so I just brought that inside and wrapped it around my little tin, and then I took a piece of wire, and this is just floral wire that I found at the Dollar Tree. I wrapped the floral wire around it. You could also use some old leaves or just some sticks from your yard if you have those available, or Excelsior grass from Dollar Tree would also work if you don't have access to this dried bits of leaves. And so I'm adding in a little bit of burlap fabric into the center of this, and look at how fast we build a wonderful little springtime bird's nest. I'm absolutely in love with this project. So here it all is popped in together, making this beautiful French farmhouse chic garden display. I am definitely going to replicate this inside my home. This is actually my little crafting studio, which is a little corner in my garage. I had somebody ask me, the mantle that's in my home is also very similar to the mantle that my husband built in my crafting studio in my garage. So if you guys want to know how to build those mantles, definitely check out those videos as well. But I am so in love with this springtime goodness, and I asked my daughter while I was painting the interior of my house to pop outside and get some footage of you all for from my garden. And so this is just my backyard with the little purple flowers. It was actually a really nice day yesterday before it turned cold and rainy on us again, so she had a lot of fun just taking this footage for you all. And let me tell you, she is one talented lady. I love the close-ups that she got. And then I also have my little yellow flowers blooming in my front yard. Look at what a great job she did getting this footage. And I really thought this would bring you some hope and cheer into your day to see what's going on with spring. I feel like spring is such a time of hope. No matter where you're at and what you're going through in your life right now, try to always look forward to the future with hope and not fear or worry. Just know that God has got you. So always, I ask that you comment and let me know, what is your favorite DIY in this video and which one will you be recreating? Thank you for spending time with me. It is a Dollar Tree DIY. I want to share with you all how to take one of these wooden crosses and detach the little base, and then you can use some really beautiful craft paper to craft on top of. So at Hobby Lobby, they have every kind of pattern and color under the sun. You could also paint these beautiful crosses, but I'm just going to use this pretty Mackenzie Child inspired paper. Again, I did get this at Hobby Lobby at 69 cents. I traced around my cross. Also look for the coupons on their paper goods. They'll run sales every week with different goodies, and they'll always throw some paper in there here and there. One of the ladies at the front told me about that. So anyway, go ahead and trim out the outline of your cross, and then I'm just using a really nice generous layer of Mod Podge for this, and I did end up having to use like several coats here. The wooden crafts from Dollar Tree in the crafters square section like this are always a little bit porous, and so it does take a little bit more to get that on. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay that down and smooth it out, and then add another layer of Mod Podge. And so originally I thought I was going to Mod Podge this pattern to both sides. I did actually end up taking this Elephant Waverly chalk paint and chalk painting the base of my cross, and then also the back. I just thought that would look kind of pretty and classy, and it's also very neutral, which I love to kind of mix in neutrals really for pretty much any season. Now I hot glued the cross back onto the base, and again, I was actually going to do a little bit of a different DIY and not use the base, but I ended up deciding to just put the base back on, and then I did trim the edges with some of the Waverly chalk paint. You would probably actually want to do this as the first step, but live and learn from my mistake. It came out really cute, I feel like, anyway. It gave it kind of a little bit of a distressed edge, and I did even distress the front of it with a bit of sandpaper. So really have fun with this project. Get creative. These are out right now at our Dollar Tree in the Crafters Square section. I thought they were so pretty. I picked up 2 of this style, and then they had another one with like a cross cutout. I'm also using this premium paint pen. I love these. It's the gold paint pen, and it really just jazzes things up and makes things a little bit extra special and sparkly. So again, this is the gold premium paint pen. It's Art Deco paint pen. You can get Michael's. You can also order it off of Amazon. So here is how it looks, and I'm just going to pop it in with my little display here. I think this is going to be so perfect really to move around anywhere. Probably pop it into my coffee bar. I do love to say a good morning cup of coffee with you guys every morning on my Instagram story with my scripture cards, and I do get those at Dollar Tree. So I love y'all, and I hope you're enjoying this one. This next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take one of the little burner covers from the Dollar Tree and some of this Dollar Tree nautical rope. I'm going to hot glue it in the center and then wind it around the center point, just making a kind of a cute little swirly basket weave idea here. So I want to make a little mini tray, and I want this to be something I can pop out into my patio or just in any little space. I've made some of these, but they're all a lot larger, so I thought it would be really fun just to have a smaller one. So just keep wrapping your nautical rope and gluing it.
Once I had the whole little rope attached to my burner cover, I then took 2 little pieces of rope and decided to create some handles. Again, I want to create like a little mini tray. Dollar Tree is carrying these really cute like little farmers market type signs, and I chose this locally grown fresh produce. And so I also will tell you to glue your handles up just a little bit further. I was wanting my round sign to kind of sit flat down on my basket tray, but it ended up kind of being a little bit elevated, so it works fine. But just if you want it to sit down flat, put your handles up a little bit further. But I added handles to either side, and then you could honestly just be done here. You could put a cute little bead or something, you know, to cover just that edge. But I think it's pretty cute as is. And then I'm just going to add this little doodly dad. Again, that's that little round. It's like a plant stake, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to add that to the center. And then I also decided to add a layer of Mod Podge. And that way, if somebody wanted to sit a drink on this, it wouldn't like mess up the front of it, because it is going to be kind of a little bit of a tray that I'm probably going to use kind of maybe as a coaster, or probably just actually for a candle, which is how I'm displaying it here. But anyway, I thought that was a really fun idea just for something different. And if you want to create a little tray, you guys could also do this with like a square tray and one of the square Dollar Tree signs. I don't know, honestly, the sky is the limit. Have fun with it, get creative, and go for it. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take one of these little blue trucks, and these are one of the 4th of July trucks. Now, I did buy 2 because I want to use one in my 4th of July display, and then one I wanted to use like in my lemon kitchen area. So I'm going to do a repaint on this truck. Now, don't panic, you guys. This is an absolutely adorable truck. I still have my other USA truck, but I did want to make one that would just kind of match my lemon decor. So I'm taking and I'm laying down a base of the white Waverly chalk paint, and that is going to cover some of the extra glittery and bumpy parts on my actual little truck. And then I'll go in with some of the Waverly elephant chalk paint and just chalk paint the edges right here. And this is above like little tire wheel spot. If you're a car person, let me know what this would probably be called. I guess this is the truck. My son would kill me because he's a total car truck person. Anyway, I am detailing this to the best of my ability and knowledge, and just trying to make it super cute with some fun neutral colors. Now, when you're painting these trucks, don't panic if things look a little bit wonky. You can always go back in and fix it with a little bit of a detail brush. I did go ahead and paint the back of it gray, and then I painted my little wheels and tires, and then I'm just again using some more shading and some detail work. So really, for something like this, a couple of different colors of gray, some whites and blacks are going to give you a pretty good little effect. And now I'm just going to hot glue this cute little mint sign onto the front. Now, it's actually not technically going to be a mint carrying truck, but the sign was the perfect size for this. I'm going to pop some lemons into the bed of my truck, some pineapples, and then some of the lemon leaves, and I'm gonna hope the lemon leaves kind of look like mints. Okay, so these lemon plates I actually got at Hobby Lobby. Now they are carrying some different little fruit plates at the Dollar Tree, or you guys could just use some yellow foam or construction paper. Get creative with it. These little mini wooden pineapples are also from the Dollar Tree, but I just thought this was such a fun little happy truck, and again, it matches my kitchen. So anyway, just get creative with it. You guys could do a watermelon truck, you could do an herb truck, lemons, you know, anything that floats your boat, that pops into your brain. I do love to buy, you know, one extra of the trucks so I can kind of sometimes do these little cute repaints. I hope you guys are loving it. Comment and let me know what you guys think. For this next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take one of these Dollar Tree burner covers. I love this one. It says, "When life gives you lemons, make lemonade." Super great motto for me right now. And so I just hot glued a piece of wire to the back, and then I put a piece of cardboard over that wire to kind of keep the little burner cover on, and then just wired it to this wreath form. This wreath form is about a 14-inch wreath form. It could have been a little bit bigger, but hey, we're gonna use what we have on hand. The next thing I'm doing is using some of this Dollar Tree greenery. I'm going to hot glue the ends of the greenery, and these do come in bundles, so there's about 6 to 7 a bundle, and you can just trim them off with your wire cutter. And then I'm adding in some more greenery in and around the little burner cover. You can also find these grapevine wreaths at pretty much any craft store or your Walmart for about $4 to $5. So continue to hot glue some pretty greenery in and around it. I thought that greenery would be really nice, leaving kind of just the pops of yellow here and there. I didn't have a whole super ton of lemons left because I've already done one of my lemon wreaths and I've already done some other lemon crafts, but I thought this would be a fun one. I just really love this saying. I think it's amazing, and I think it's a good thing to keep in mind always. No matter what is going on in your life, when life gives you lemons, you can make lemonade. Just try not to let those lemons turn you sour or bitter. So I'm really trying to remember that. Okay, now go ahead and make a cute little Olivia bow. I'm going to use this Mackenzie Childs ribbon I had left over from Christmas. You're just going to take the ribbon and loop it over on itself. I did that twice to give me 4 loops. And listen, if you need a good bow video, just drop down into my YouTube description box, and there's a bow video you guys can find. It's a Christmas video, but it's going to share with you guys how to make a quick little Olivia bow. They're so easy. Oh my goodness. I'm going to take a zip tie to the center here, a zip tie up to the center, and then you just want to give it a good fluff enough, and then you have a fabulous little bow. And that's the secret to all my bows, is all that fluffing. And I also suggest to always try to use wired ribbon. That's super helpful as well. So once I had the ribbon fluffed out, I just wanted to go ahead and take another zip tie and zip tie to that to the wreath. I always used to use pipe cleaners, but I'm really finding that I like zip ties better, so much better, because they really keep everything on really nicely. So I'm just fluffing out my ribbon. Now I think it's super cute as is, but you know, I have to go a little bit extra step, and there's my creative director in the background, Benji Bear, my puppy dog. He wants me to play with them. But I'm going to use this blue ribbon, and I made another quick little Olivia bow. The blue ribbon I did get off of Amazon, and I used it last year as well, so it did last me quite a bit of a long time. I'm going to zip tie that to the center of my black and white check bow. And then there you guys have that. You can add some lemons. I added some of the lemons and Dollar Tree limes. They have a lot of limes out this year. Oh, and also you guys keep an eye out for those Dollar Tree lemon dishes. I saw some in my store yesterday, so they should be out in your store hopefully. I also have some lemon dishes linked in my Amazon store too. So what is your favorite motto in life? That's going to be the secret question for this video. So if you're wondering what a secret question is, well, I do have a Cricut Joy giveaway that I'm going to be giving away. So I like to ask you all a secret question in every single one of my videos. It gives you guys an opportunity to connect and also to win the Cricut Joy. So just drop a comment down below. What is your favorite motto? Your favorite little quick thing that you love to pop out? You know, it could be a little token of scripture. Let's light up the comment section with some positive vibes. I think I really need that, and I know it can help others as well. But for me right now, it's when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And so I hope wherever you're at and whatever you have going on, you're making the best of it and making that sweet little glass of lemonade. Now for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take one of these super adorable little Dollar Tree frames. These are out right now in our stores, and they're a larger, I believe 8 by 10 size, and they're really, really cute. I mean, you could totally use them as is. I got the idea to just go ahead and pop some of my Mackenzie Childs pattern. This is just from Hobby Lobby. It's just a little paper pattern, and I'm measuring it to measure the size of the backing of the frame. And I didn't even realize you could remove the backing and then add an insert, or you could even add in a piece of glass, or gosh, even a mirror. I don't know. So anyway, I did cut that piece of, I keep wanting to say fabric, but it's paper. I'm popping it back into the frame, and then voila, I have this really cute little customized frame. I do like the black, but I just thought it'd be neat. Now listen, Dollar Tree is also selling these paper cutouts. If you want to do some larger paper cutout decor, you could Mod Podge these, make them into a banner. I decided just to pop it onto the center of my little picture frame here. You could also put some of your kids' pictures in there, but I thought it was such a happy, a fun little way to bring some sunshine and lemon fresh goodness to my decor. So I love y'all. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you enjoy these DIYs.
Thank you all so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafty decor adventure. It is a true blessing and honor to have you all here. Hey, listen, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can enter to win my Cricut Joy giveaway, plus that $100 shopping gift card so you guys can buy Cricut Joy supplies. This is just totally on me. I want to spoil one of you guys and give you guys kind of an introduction if you love to kind of craft and decorate and want to take it a step further and get one of those Cricut Joys. So again, thank you guys for being here. I just want to encourage you guys to keep up the good work crafting and decorating. I know for me, staying busy, crafting and decorating really helps my mental state, as well as getting out in the sunshine and walking a little bit and trying to be careful about nourishing my body with healthy foods. Some of you guys have asked about my weight loss journey. Really, it hasn't really been a whole lot of weight loss. It's more have been just like getting into shape. So moving my body, doing cardio in the morning, and all of that kind of fun stuff. Also, don't forget to drink lots of water. So anyway, thank you guys again for being here. Listen, if you guys want to check out how I did this Easter mantle, pop over to my last video. I shared with you guys all of the bows and all of that kind of fun stuff. You guys, I just love to decorate for every single season. I feel like no matter where I'm at in my life, if I decorate for that season, it just feels like a celebration. So I'd encourage you guys to step out of your comfort zone, decorate for every season, or even just put out some cute things, or maybe make a cute wreath for a neighbor. Just any fun thing that you guys can do to get your mental state just feeling a little bit more positive and joyful. I know there's so much going on in the world right now. I know there's so much going on in everybody's lives. Nobody has been unaffected in these last couple of years. Have been really, really tough, including myself. So I'm telling you guys, just keep putting one foot in front of the other. There's always a new corner to turn. There's always a new path to take. There's always a new set of joys to enjoy. Even if you're really at a low spot, if God gives you a new breath in the next morning, like you wake up and you're like, hey, I've got another day, get out there and smile at somebody. Leave a kind comment for somebody. I want to encourage you guys in that endeavor as well. You know, if you guys are on this video right now, you're on a social media platform. So all you guys have to do is drop a kind comment down below. If you can't be kind, maybe leave some kind emojis. And if you really can't be kind and you don't like something that you see on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, keep going. We don't have to put negativity out there in this world. We can be a voice of change just by our positivity and encouragement. And you know, there's people in your life right now that need to hear from you. Send them an I love you text, send them a how are you doing? Check on people, check on your loved ones, check on yourself. So anyway, I just want to give you guys that from me to you. I'm hugging all of your hearts so tight. I can't wait for our next video. And until then, remember, be kind to yourselves and be kind to one another. I'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye.